The new year is just around the corner, and it's now time to take a look at 7 of the best off-the-radar pickup truck side hustles for this upcoming year. And the purpose of this video is really to dig into the darkest corners of the internet and find the best side hustles that literally nobody is talking about, that you can potentially make a ton of cash with your pickup truck in this upcoming year. After analyzing hundreds of potential pickup truck side hustles, here's the top 7 side hustles that we know that you can make really good money with. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name is Adam Zwingler, and this channel is dedicated to helping people find great blue-collar type businesses, service-related businesses, skilled trade type companies, identify them, start them, and scale them into successful companies that you can potentially sell for quite a bit of money down the road. If you're interested in learning how to do that, consider liking and subscribing. Okay, so first on the list is kitchen hood cleaning. And guys, there's a lot of money to be made with cleaning businesses. But within the broader cleaning industry lies a hidden gem of a service business that checks a lot of the boxes, and that is kitchen hood cleaning. Whether you're doing residential or commercial kitchen hood cleaning, this is one of the most lucrative ways you can make money with a pickup truck this upcoming year. Let's go ahead and dive into the revenue numbers so you can see how much money you can make providing this service. Okay, so let's say that you decide to go into commercial hood cleaning. Well, at least out here in Colorado, you can charge upwards of $700 per commercial hood that you clean. And let's say that you can clean 2 of those each day. That works out to be a daily revenue of $1,400, weekly revenue of $8,400. Over the course of a month, you can charge upwards of $35,000. And over the course of a year, over $426,000. Now, these numbers are supportive of somebody that's really going after this, making this a full-time job, and this video is focused around side hustles. So you'd have to take these numbers, work backwards into the numbers, and figure out how much time do you really want to spend on a business like this, as a side hustle like this, and go from there. But the idea is there, and the potential to make money is definitely there. Here's a couple core thoughts about this business. You could potentially have virtual assistants that cold call businesses, and you offer some sort of a commission structure if they can line businesses up that want to have their commercial hoods cleaned. This has potential to be a monthly reoccurring business because restaurants and different food organizations need to have their commercial hoods cleaned quite frequently. You really only need 2 employees to do this kind of revenue numbers. And you only need about 50 monthly reoccurring customers to make this kind of revenue happen. You need about $10,000 in commercial cleaning equipment and a pickup truck in order to make this business work. It's not a seasonal business. There's a lot of residential and commercial customers out there that just think of all the commercial and residential kitchen hoods that need to be cleaned every single year. Now, on the downside, you could potentially be working with hazardous chemicals, and something else that's not on this list here, but worth mentioning, is a lot of these establishments would probably want you to be cleaning in the evenings or early mornings while they're not in business operation. Okay, so moving on to pickup truck side hustle number 2, which is stump grinding. And guys, this side hustle can potentially make you in 1 to 2 hours what a senior plumber or HVAC tech will make in their entire day. So let me introduce you to this little hidden gem of a pickup truck side hustle that most people don't know about, but it easily made it into our top list for best pickup truck side hustles for 2025. That's right, guys. It's a fairly simple, straightforward business model. You've got 1 piece of equipment and 1 service. The stump grinder does most of the work while you operate it, and the amount that you can charge per stump will completely blow your mind. Let's go ahead and dive into the numbers so you can see how much you can charge for this service. Now, pricing for this kind of a service is going to vary greatly depending on where you're at in the country. Out here in Colorado, I can tell you that you would be hard-pressed to find anybody that would be willing to come out and grind a stump for you for less than $400 to $500 minimum. But as a general rule of thumb, let's go ahead and take a look at some average pricing nationwide. And based on looking at a lot of different websites nationwide and reading a lot of different pricing models on different websites, we would say that the average price to grind a small stump is going to be roughly about $180. If you need a medium stump ground, it could be $300, and a large stump could be $550. Now, that seems to be the average nationwide. According to LawnStarter.com, there's typically at least a minimum charge of $250 just to come out and grind 1 stump. The national average works out to be $313 is the average price that people charge to come out and grind a stump. Out here in Colorado, it's $500, But let's go ahead and work off of $313, which is the average stump charge. And let's break down the revenue numbers and see how much money you can potentially make grinding stumps. Okay, so the average price per stump is $313. Let's say that you can do 3 stumps in a day. That works out to be just under $1,000 a day, which works out to be about $4,700 per week, which works out to be just less than $20,000 per month and $238,000 a year. Really good money. You can make all that money just yourself grinding stumps. A couple thoughts real quick. Equipment will range anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 for a stump grinder. Let's say the average startup cost on a business like this is about $10,000. $10,000 to make $250,000 in annual revenue sounds like a pretty good deal on my end. Maintenance can be costly. There's definitely a seasonality component to this. Competition is low, and cleanup is a really important factor that most people don't talk about, but you don't want to just show up, shred somebody's yard up, and then just leave without cleaning up properly. So where do you get customers? Well, you've got residential property owners, you've got commercial property owners, you've got tree and lawn care businesses, you've got property management businesses, excavating businesses, real estate agents, developers, builders. All these kinds of people potentially have stumps that need to be removed off of properties. Plus, you need to have a really good Google My Business page that's loaded up with a bunch of 5-star reviews. We can definitely help you with that if you're interested. But at the end of the day, you need to be on Google. When people type in stump removal, you need to show up on the top of Google. You just have to for this kind of a specialized service. That wraps up our second pickup truck side hustle. Also, guys, if you're looking to start a side hustle business this upcoming year and you're looking for an affordable, inexpensive, but really quality website, or you need some consulting and advice on how to get started or how to scale it up, then consider coming over to buildumuniversity.com. That is our website where we offer these two services. We offer an affordable, clean quality website, and we offer consulting. If you're interested, come on over and check that out. Now, on to business idea number 3, which is picking up litter or litter removal. Guys, this is one of those super obvious, super simple services that makes for a great side hustle. And you would think that there's just a million people out there offering this service because it's so simple. But the reality is there's just not that many people offering it. And there's a lot of properties that need it. And so it's potentially one of those hidden gems that's just hiding in plain sight where you only need a pickup truck in order to start making money and getting customers. If offering a service as simple as this seems kind of far-fetched, then I would suggest checking out Brian Winch, who started cleanlots.com, which is a company that was started decades ago, where he teaches people and provides guidance on how to get a business like this started. He said in your first year, it's really not that difficult to be making $50,000 to $100,000 if you're willing to hustle and get out there and land some contracts. Think of all the commercial businesses that you've been to over the years where you go out to them, and whether it's a fast food restaurant or whatever, there is litter laying on the property. How many of those property owners would be open to somebody coming out and picking up that litter on a weekly or monthly basis? Maybe there's a pickup truck side hustle here, just a very simple pickup truck side hustle where you can make good money. So let's play out some hypothetical revenue numbers and take a look at what you could potentially charge and how much you could potentially make offering a service like this. Okay, so a quick overview. Let's say that you have a monthly charge where you come out once a month to pick up litter on a property and you charge $150. And let's say that takes you about an hour and you can do 6 of those in a day, 36 of those in a week, and 152 of those in a month. Well, your monthly revenue would be upwards of $23,000. Annual revenue would be over $273,000. So the question is can you get that many businesses to allow you to come out once a month for $150 and pick up litter on the property? You could potentially have somebody come out and pick up trash for you for $40,000 to $50,000 a year, and even after all expenses come close to netting about $200,000 a year. Now, this is being run as a full-time business, and this business is about side hustles. So you have to kind of dial this back if you want to do this as a side hustle, but you can see that there's good money to be made if you're willing to go for this and try to build 152 reoccurring monthly customers. Next on the list is roof cleaning, which is another subcategory of the broader cleaning industry. Roof cleaning is something most people don't think about. You've got a lot of people out there pressure washing sidewalks and windows, but most people aren't looking up, where they can potentially have a very profitable roof cleaning side hustle with a pickup truck. Based on our research, here's what you can potentially charge on average for roof cleaning services. So the average roof cleaning is going to range anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Let's just call it a flat $1,000 is what you can potentially charge to clean a roof. Let's break down the revenue numbers. So let's assume that you can do one roof a day, you charge $1,000, and you clean roofs 6 days a week. So your average weekly revenue is $6,000. Monthly revenue could be $25,000 and change, and you could potentially make over $304,000 a year just cleaning one roof a day. Let's move on to pickup truck side hustle number 5, which is concrete removal. Breaking up and disposing of concrete is not easy work by any means. Standing there holding a jackhammer or a sledgehammer or a pickaxe and breaking apart concrete and then having to pick it up, load it into the back of your pickup truck, haul it down to the dump, unload it at the dump is hard work. Even just a few years ago, you would have been lucky to get $2 to $3 a square foot to break down and haul away a concrete pad like this one. Now, you can potentially charge upwards of $6 to $10 a square foot for the same work. Let's go ahead and break down the revenue numbers so you can see how much money you can potentially make breaking apart a concrete pad like this. Okay, so let's use an average price of $8 a square foot. This is the price you will charge to break apart concrete, throw it in your pickup truck, and haul it off to the dump. Let's assume that you're breaking down patios that are 12 feet by 24 feet. Well, that works out to be $2,304 to break apart a patio like that. Let's assume that you can do one of those in a day, so you make a daily revenue of $2,304. That works out to be a weekly revenue of over $11,000, a monthly revenue of over $48,000, and an annual revenue of over $500,000. Now, this is hard work. You will need additional people to help you, and that is just going to be required. But there is inexpensive labor if you know where to look for it, and there's a lot of people that would be willing to roll up their sleeves and help you build a business like this. A quick few thoughts. There's going to be disposal costs. There's going to be equipment costs. This is backbreaking, very difficult work that can be somewhat dangerous. There's lots of potential upsell opportunity for landscaping and new concrete. And I really feel confident that with a team of 5 guys, you can build this into $1 million a year business with no problem. Let's move on to pickup truck side hustle number 6, which is sump pump repair. And first, guys, let's just get clear on what a sump pump is and what it actually does. As you can see with this illustration, a sump pump is basically a device that removes water from a basement or some sort of other low-lying area of a building and pumps it outside. When it rains heavily, sump pumps become basically invaluable because they are the device that makes sure that your basement in your house or your commercial property doesn't flood out. And when they're not working properly, it becomes drastically noticeable, and that's where you can potentially come in with a pickup truck side hustle that is highly niched down. There's very few competitors, and it's highly lucrative. Repair costs range anywhere between $150 and $500, with the average repair cost being somewhere around $300. If you're able to repair 3 sump pumps in a day, you can potentially make upwards of $900 per day. Not a bad rate for repairing such a simple, straightforward device. Let's go ahead and break down the numbers and take a look at the revenue you can potentially make off of a business like this. So let's assume that the average sump pump repair is around $300. And you can do 3 of those a day, so that works out to be $900 in daily revenue, which is $4,500 a week, $18,000 a month, and over $200,000 a year. Pretty good money for specializing in one simple device and just repairing those when they break in your city or small town. Okay, number 7 and last on the list of best pickup truck side hustles for the new year is going to be line striping. Guys, check out line striping because line striping is an incredibly profitable little business and can be a great side hustle where you can make great income, you can work outdoors, and you can have a flexible schedule where you set your own hours. Parking lot striping includes painting the lines for parking stalls, arrows, signage, handicap stalls, and more. Let's go ahead and break down the revenue numbers so you can see how much money you can make doing line stripping. Okay, so pricing breakdown. A single line restripe will run you $7. A double line restripe will run you $9. And if you need an entirely new layout, that can run upwards of $12. Now, that's pretty vague. I don't even know exactly what that means. That is taken directly from some of these websites. So let's go ahead and look at this from a different way. Okay, so let's say that you get hired to come out and paint a 25 stall parking lot. Well, you're probably going to charge about $30 per parking stall, and that job is going to work out to be $750. Now, let's say that you also have to go out and paint a 75 stall parking lot. Well, your price per stall is going to drop down to $25 per stall, and you're going to be able to charge about $1,875 on average for that job. Now, on the flip side, if you need to double that even more, and let's say go out and paint 150 parking lot stalls, well, the price drops down per stall as well to $20, $22 per stall, and the total job would be about $3,300. So you can see that as you get these parking lots and as the parking lots get bigger, the amount that you can charge per job really does start to balloon up, and you can start to make really good money. Pricing, of course, varies depending on where you're at in the country and, of course, how large or small the job is. But as you can see with the pricing, it really isn't that difficult to make somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000 per day doing commercial line stripping. Let's go ahead and break down the revenue numbers so that you can see what a potential side hustle or a potential business can make doing line stripping. So let's say that your daily revenue is on average $2,000. Well, if you work 5 days a week, that's $10,000. That's over $42,000 a month and over $507,000 a year running a line stripping company. Keep in mind, that's not a pickup truck side hustle. You have to dial that back and figure out how much time you want to spend, but the idea is, of course, there. Okay, a couple final things to consider here. Guys, the top line revenue looks great on a business like this, but your labor and material costs are going to eat into your profits considerably. So keep that in mind. It's going to be seasonal. If the weather's bad, it's going to affect your business. And of course, you're dealing with certain equipment, and that equipment will break over time. But overall, this is a fantastic pickup truck side hustle, and definitely in our top 7 of best pickup truck side hustles for 2025. That about wraps up this video, guys. If you're interested in learning more about how to start a business in service-related companies, blue-collar work, where you can make a lot of money nowadays, consider liking and subscribing, checking out our playlist of additional videos like this that have great business ideas. That wraps this up. On to the next, guys. I'll see you soon.